Hello brewers and cuers. So I don't know if you've heard of dry aging meat. Anyway, I've been looking at it over the past few weeks, and there's a famous brand of dry aging bags called the umai bags. Anyway, they're in Australia. To me they seem really expensive, something like $50 for postage, with postage, and you only get 3 bags. So I found these Misty Gully smokehouse flavours. Anyway, I've got the dry age banquet bags, and you get 6 of the same size bags for, I think I got them for $30. So I'm going to be dry aging. Now I might be biting off more than I can chew for a first time dry age, but this is about 5.5 kilos or 12-ish pounds of grain-fed prime rib eye on the bone. So I'm going to leave all the fat on. That water that you see, the liquid you see on it, because they say to wash it with soapy water and whatnot, to make sure that there's no bugs on it. Being a home brewer, I've got a spray bottle of Star San always on hand. Sprayed that on there. That'll make sure to get rid of all the bugs, and I've done the same with these gloves. So the process is basically get the meat, cut open the meat and get it into this bag, and then do a vac seal, but have to use a special little bit of foam-ish material, very thin foam, and that allows the bag to breathe just a little bit. So the beauty of these bags is that apparently they're a one-way valve. So it allows air as the enzymes tenderize this meat. I don't know how much more tender it can get, but the while the enzymes are doing that, they do release some gases, and this bag allows those gases to escape, but not any gases to get in. And rather than having to need a special fridge, this bag also allows me to use just my normal fridge that my food goes in, my milk, cold water, all that stuff, and I can dry age the meat in that. And my planned dry aging period will be 45 days. So I will do a fast motion video of me bagging this meat, and then we'll do some aging updates throughout the video. Alright, enough of me talking, time to get bagging. After several attempts, turns out the foam little bit that needs to breathe can only be single thin. I had it doubled over, and while I don't have it, and from what I've seen, you don't need to have a perfect vacuum seal. You just need to have most of it in contact with the bag. So this is going to go in the fridge, and we'll have a look at it in, say, a week's time. Cheers. There it is in the fridge. Just wanted to show that it's on a little wire rack. That's to make sure the air gets underneath and all around it, so it ages as it should. Alright, so we'll look at it in a week. Cheers. Okay, here we are after 45 days. Dry aging this, what I'm hoping is going to be a fantastic rib fillet on the bone. You can see it's gone dark and very barky. So I'm going to trim this, and I'll probably do a bit of paring on the bone too, but I'll be saving all the meat the bits I cut off, and I'll do that. I'll cut it out of the bag, and then I'll show you how the pieces look. I'll also do a weight on what's left. It started with I think it was 5.2 kilos, and I'll see what I've got left after I trim up everything. Alright, I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, so I've cut up all the ribs, but I've still got the bark on it, so I figured it was going to be easier to go around the bone than try and cut across the flat when it was all one piece. So that's the process I'm going to take. I've started to julienne a couple, so I'll crack on and show you all this when I'm done. Cheers. Okay, there we have it. All ribs are cut up. I did cut up one here. It was one of the end pieces, so there was a bit less usable flesh on it, so I cut it up, and I cut up julienne just a couple of the bones to save the fat, and I'll turn them into some nice dry aged beef patties. So I am now going to, so these are right to freeze, and you'll still have the same effect as you would have if I cooked them all tonight, but I'm just going to cook one tonight, see how they go, and I'll freeze the rest and cook them as I feel like eating them. Okay, vacuum sealed the bags. The weight, so it was about 5.2, 5.3 kilos when I put it in the fridge. With all of this, there's 3.4 kilos left, so lost what's that, about 40% moisture out of the dry aging process. And the other thing I forgot to mention is, so these are all so that's the one bone, but that's all the bark and stuff, and so that is going to render really nicely and make a really rich sauce that I can't wait to have on my steak. So yeah, I'm not throwing that away either, and because that will make it'll give you a really nice stock, or you can use it to make a gravy, which I guess is beef stock anyway. Alright, I'm going to go fire up the barbecue, and then I'm going to cook my meat. So at the moment I'm just rendering the fat, because I didn't want to cut all the fat off. It's looking pretty tasty. I've just seasoned it with salt and pepper. Bit of flamage. Can't wait. And there is the cooked steak, just resting. I can't wait to try this. And that's how you dry age and cook some quality rib on the bone. I hope you enjoyed this this video. I've been waiting, as I said, 45 days for this, and I can't wait to tuck in. Cheers.